Hi, Gabby.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you, Gabby?
Fine, thank you. And you?
I am okay. Thank you. Ok, Gaby. A ver, continuemos. Tenemos que comenzar la 3, ¿no? Vámonos a la plataforma y comencemos con la 3. A ver. Ok. Okay. It's loading. Okay, so we have to start with future continuous. Okay, so I will share you my screen. Give me a second. Okay. Perfect. So when we talk about future continuous, we have to use two auxiliaries, right? For example, the first one, where we talk about future, and the second where we use the continuous way. So do you remember which auxiliaries do we use for future, Gabby?
Will and be going to.
Okay, perfect. Yes. Will and okay. Could you maybe tell me the difference between these two auxiliaries?
I remember will was used to something that it's not 100% sure.
Yeah.
And be going to is 100% sure you're going to do something.
Perfect. Yes, that is okay. So, well, in this case, when we talk about future, we're going to use the same definitions for both, okay? So, the only thing that we're going to add here, it is that we have these two auxiliaries. Both are for future. And for making continuous, we have to add the verb with ing. But when we use continuous, we have to remember that we use be, right? Verb to be, plus the verb with ing, right? Always. So this be and ing, it is for continuous. And this will, it is only for future. The same is going to happen here. Future. And after we have to use be plus the verb with ing, right? So those two ones are gonna be the same. Well, there is not some big difference in meaning, okay? Like, for example, if I use will and the continuous with bing or be going to with bing, in this case, when we talk about continuous, we have to remember that we are making an action, right? In a progressive action. So the action is happening. So we can't decide if it is a certain future or it is a probability, okay? So both are gonna be the same here, okay? Now, for the structures of these, okay, both are gonna be the same, but for making affirmative, we will say that we have to use subject plus will, BING, plus complement. For example, I can say something in a progressive way. For example, affirmative question or affirmative statement. What are you doing this Saturday, Gabby?
I will be studying English.
Perfect. I will be studying English. And we could put the time, right? This Saturday. So in this case, we are talking about this action that it is happening, but in this time, okay? So that is for affirmative. When we use negative, for example, it's gonna be the same. What is different here that we're gonna put not, or maybe the contraction won't, right? For example, something that you are not going to do this Sunday, Gabby.
I
Okay,
won't be working this Saturday.
perfect. I won't be working this Saturday, this Sunday, exactly. And the same here, we could make questions, okay, with this, but always we have to use at the beginning our first auxiliary. Our first auxiliary is will, not BING. So I can make some question. Maybe will you be, for example, traveling this month? And of course, we could answer with the yes, no questions, right? Yes, I will with the first auxiliary, or maybe no, I won't, right? So this is with will. And the same meaning I could use for be going to. So I will use here. Some people used to use more will because when we use be going to, as you can see here, we have to be, right? Two verb to be. But the first one has to be conjugated and the second one has to be static. So we don't have to conjugate nothing, right? So sometimes people used to forget this verb to be, or maybe this another one, okay? So that is a simple mistake that every person used to do it. Now, I'm going to be, for example, working tomorrow night, for example. As you can see here, the first one has to be conjugated and the second one has to be static, okay? So it's impossible if you don't put this first one, it is incorrect. If you don't put this another one, it is incorrect, okay? So the same is going to identify the platform. So you have to be careful in this part, okay?
Okay.
So the same as the other for negative. The only thing that we are going to do is to put not. And where we're going to put not?
I am not going to
Here, right?
be working tomorrow.
Yes, after the first B, after first B. So here, for example, she's not going to be, I'm not sure, some verb. Some new clothes. Okay, so the same for questions. The thing that we have to do is to put first the be, only the first be, and after, of course, the subject, right? Subject going to and there. For example, you're going to be, you're going to be practicing English. And as we are using verb to be at the beginning of the sentence, we are going to answer with the verb to be, right? Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Right? So this is the continuous way for future. Always we can use with both auxiliaries and always with be and ing, okay? But always we have to forget that that this be of continuous has to be static. Okay, perfect. So here we can see some examples. When we're gonna use this future continuous, we're gonna talk, or we're gonna use it to talk about something that will be in progress, but in a specific time in the future. For example, here, this Saturday, this Sunday, this month. So we have a specific time in the future, okay? For example, here, Dan says, we'll be practicing this afternoon. So we have here the specific future, the specific time for future, this afternoon, okay? So nothing else here. The structures will, always plus be, verb in base form with ing, and of course, we can use some contractions. For example, here, we could use the contraction with she will. So we could use she'll, right? Or DNL, the apostrophe and LL, right? So it is good too. Be and ing, the verb with ing. Negative, not be ing. Okay, so the same happens with be going to. Be and ing. Nick will be playing in the next game, or Nick is going to be playing in the next game. Both are gonna be okay. We don't have difference in meaning, okay? So until here, do you have maybe some question, Gabby?
No, it's fine.
Perfect. Okay, so now let's go to the platform. I will assign you these grammars. Okay, it is done. Okay, perfect. Very good. Let's see. Okay, 1. What is the mistake there?
Mm, oh, the be going to be getting.
Yes,
Mhm.
exactly. Yes, so let's correct. As I was telling you, some people used to forget that. Maybe
Yes.
the first or the second B. So we have to be careful, okay?
Okay.
Yes.
Going to be getting.
Perfect. Very good.
Mm.
Excellent. Now, I don't know if you have some question about this or some doubts that you had.
No, it's fine. It's clear.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, so now let's go to the platform and let's see the other. Okay, perfect. So now, do you remember maybe this grammar that it is object adjective clauses?
Mm, yes. Mhm.
Yes, okay. So when do we use this grammar?
Uh, uh, when we don't know how many people or things we are talking about, like I remember the like no one, nobody,
No,
or everybody, or it's not that.
no, 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 no. These adjective clauses, okay, the others are the indefinite pronouns, okay?
Mhm.
Nobody, everybody, those are the indefinite pronouns. But these object adjective clauses, it is only the two question words that we choose to use. For example, who or maybe
Mhm.
that, or
Mhm.
which or maybe that.
Okay.
And we use it for describing things or people, right? For example, if I tell you, could you describe me the definition of a computer?
Mm, uh, well, I don't know which one, maybe, or I'm wrong.
Sorry?
Uh, with adjective clauses, like it says in the screen, which one? It's the answer. Like, of course, I'm going to
Eh,
describe, but which one? Which computer?
No,
Or
no.
I'm wrong.
Yeah, you're
I
wrong.
don't get.
Why? Because when we describe some things,
Mhm,
always we have to use the adjective clause in the middle of the sentence, right? For example, here we are not using an adjective clause. You are the two people I wanted to see. But if I want to use an adjective clause, in order to make it a little bit formal, I will use, if I'm using people, so I have to use who, right?
mhm,
You are the
mhm,
two people who I wanted to see.
mhm,
Example, where is it going to be my adjective clause? It's going to be after people
mhm,
here, right? So if we talk about things, this is the recording. So we are talking about a thing, the
mhm,
recording. And as it is not people, I will use that or maybe which,
mhm,
right? This is the
mhm,
recording that I told you about, or maybe which I told you about. So this is my adjective clause because tape, in this case, for example, it is an object, okay, a thing. If we talk about people, for example, where we have an example of people, here, there is someone. Someone is a person. So I will use who I have to go see, right? Or maybe there is someone that I have to go see. So these two, it's when I will use it for people. If I use who, it's more formal, right? And if
mhm,
I use that, it's informal, right?
mhm,
In some cases, we could use this whom, okay? What is the difference between who and whom? This whom is more polite and formal than who, okay?
mhm,
So in meaning, we can say that whom, it means this like a quien, okay? So it is okay too, okay? So
mhm,
after this, what do we have? We have that or which, but when we talk about objects, things, right? So my conversation wasn't the only one. So in this case, I am talking about my conversation. Wasn't the only one that she recorded, right? That's why I am using that. Or maybe if I want to make it a little bit more formal, I will use which, right?
mhm,
But always this object pronouns has to be in the middle of the sentences, right?
mhm,
So this is, for example, when we want to join two sentences in only one. For example, if I say, um, that is a, that is a nice dress. I, I bought it yesterday. Or I bought, maybe here, that dress yesterday. So as you can see here, we have these two sentences, but these two are separated, and I am using in both sentences the same object, right? That is
mhm,
a nice dress. So here in the first sentence, I am talking about the nice dress. In the other sentence, I am talking about I bought that dress yesterday. So I'm talking about the dress too. So how can I join these two sentences in only one?
Uh, that is a nice dress which I bought yesterday.
Very good. That is a nice dress which bought yesterday, right? Very good. So what are we doing here? We are joining these two sentences in only one, right? We are using which, and we are not repeating the same object in the other clause. That is a nice dress, which I bought it yesterday, or I bought yesterday, right? So if I use this complement after which, it means that I'm talking about this object, right?
Mhm.
Perfect. Excellent. So now with person, for example, this. How can I join these two ones?
Uh, he was a good doctor that I went to see, that I went to mm, he was a good doctor that I went to see, or
Yeah.
mm,
A ver.
that I went to. He was a good doctor that I went to see, that I went to, that I went to, that I went. No, I that I went to.
In
Mm,
this case, for
mhm,
example, we will use whom, right?
okay.
Because the meaning of this whom, it is a quien.
Mhm.
So what else?
Whom I went to see, maybe, or it has to be with all the compliments.
Uh-huh. Whom
Mhm,
I went to see, right? So in
mhm,
Spanish, maybe, él era un buen doctor a quien yo fui a ver. You could
mhm,
put, for example, a quien yo fui a ver, whom I went to see to his hospital, for example, okay?
mhm,
So it is okay, perfect. So in this case, or some cases, you are going to use this whom when something, for example, it means like, or you are missing like the word a, okay, a quien, okay, because who it's only quien.
mhm,
Okay?
mhm,
That is
mhm.
but always with things which or that, and for people who or that or maybe whom. Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. So now let's go to the platform. Ouch. Okay. Okay. Objective closest one. Mm. Perfect. Very good. Now let's go to the second. Okay. Perfect. Any mistake? Did you remember now, Gabby? Or maybe do you have some doubt?
No, I remember. I sometimes I get confused with the names
Names?
of the grammars. Yes, but I
Okay.
remember.
Okay, perfect. Very good. So it is okay now. Well, yes, with this. Yes, and tomorrow we are going to see these passive models, okay? Because
Okay.
it's the same of passives. Yes, you're gonna give it like a check to your notes, okay? Because
Mhm.
it's the same as the other passives that we saw in present and past. But in this case, we're gonna see with all modals, okay? For example, should, would, could, can, so with the rest of the grammars, okay? So it is not longer, but we have to explain it, okay? Okay, so yes, and tomorrow we finish with that, okay? So now we're gonna finish with the daily survey.
Okay.
Okay, okay, Gabby. So see you tomorrow, Gabby. Take care a lot. Bye bye.
See you tomorrow. Take care a lot too. Bye bye.